After spending 5 days in the den of kidnappers, the Bishop of Abuja Diocese Anglican Communion, the Right Reverend Clement Ekpeye, has regained his freedom. It was reported that a group of conmen on Tuesday night stormed the residence of the bishop and whisked him away to an unknown destination. It was also gathered that the gunmen who forced themselves into the cleric's compound went straight for their target when they sighted him. Reacting to the release of the bishop is the cleric synod secretary, Reverend Canon Hansen Bernard, who confirmed through a telephone conversation that the bishop miraculously escaped from the den of the kidnappers when they all suddenly fell into deep sleep. According to him, the diocese never paid anything for the release of the bishop.
On Tuesday, 18th of December 2018, we were together in the office, and as a clerical secretary, I was the last. He just left, and then before I started going, not quite 1 hour, they just called me that armed robbers was his house. So I tried calling the local government chairman. Before we got there, the next thing that was kidnapped. So we missed the people. But what happened, they used ladder to enter in. And then went straight through the fence and went straight to the security man's house. Got hold of the security man. By then, bishop, they've noticed what happened because they were knocking. So they went upstairs, locked up the protector at the staircase. So they just went straight to bishop's house, bedroom. Just asked all of them to lie down. They asked him of his phones. By then, their phones were downstairs. So they just took him. They asked for the car key. They used his jeep to take him away. But they came with their car, so they just deceived us. But I also want to use the opportunity to also appreciate the Church of Nigeria, the primate prayer works. But on Saturday, 22nd, we are still arranging because they said we should give them 10 million naira. And I was the one really at the helm of the affair, trying to bargain for the price. But they refused that it must be that 10 million. We later said 500, but we 1 million. They were still insisting on that 10 million. But miraculously, that Saturday morning, we are still at the verge of still bargaining with them if we can go a bit higher. The next thing we heard that somebody saw Melody Bishop somewhere. What actually happened? At the point they were deep asleep. And I think that's what prayer can do. He just sneaked out from the bush, came out at a point where somebody saw him. So that was how they called the police. And they came and picked him up from there. And after his rescue too, the people there with his phone, they've been calling but will refuse to answer. But I think in all, God just did it. God did it. Miraculously, he escaped. The money we didn't pay. We paid nothing. To the glory of God. The primate was calling seriously and he was praying for us, asking us to be courageous, that God will do it. Even our Archbishop of Nigeria Delta Province, and a lot of bishops, clergymen, and brethren. In fact, at a point they were even mocking at us, most people, that Anglicans don't know how to pray, no, not that. But at least God has proven himself that he's the God of Anglican Church. So we are happy. We are very much grateful. We are celebrating seriously. And another good news is that my bishop is strong and healthy. He's very sound. Nothing happened to him.
The cleric synod secretary also thanked all who joined the diocese in prayers for the release of the bishop. There was a huge celebration by the people of the area, especially worshippers of the Anglican faith, who got wind of his release.